What's going on, YouTube world and YouTube tribe? I'm back. I'm back in 2022 with a review. This time for, y'all saw it, day one. WWE's day one, right? That's why I got the belt on. Man, there was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there was 7. I want to say it was 7 matches altogether. Hold on, I got it pulled up here. I just want to make sure I'm right. So yeah, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 matches on the main card, and then if you count the pre-show was and then 7. So the pre-show basically was Sheamus and Ridge Holland versus Cesaro and Ricochet in a tag team match, and I didn't see that match, but I know that Sheamus and Ridge Holland won. I think from what I heard, Ridge Holland took a bad bump because I think they showed it later on in the show that he took a bad bump and was unable to continue the match. But Sheamus basically won the match single-handedly by bro kicking Cesaro. Man, how we went from having Cesaro having a match with Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship to him just being relegated to these pre-show matches and just these just out of place matches for him against Sheamus. Like, he's not really. I don't know, man. I don't know why they won't give him a proper push. I don't know why they do such things. I haven't. To tell you the truth, I seen this pay-per-view and I haven't watched this past Monday or the previous this past Monday or SmackDown. I seen the Monday before. I think I might have did a review for it, but I did see the Monday before. But I didn't see the Friday. I didn't see this past Friday, which was I didn't even watch this past Friday. I didn't watch last Friday. I don't think I watched last Friday. I don't think. I might have watched last Friday. No, I didn't, because I didn't see. I didn't even watch last Friday. Yeah, I didn't watch last Friday, this past Monday, or this past Friday. Daddy's been pissing me off so much. I just can't bring myself to watch the shows anymore. But I'm most likely gonna just like skim through them just to keep myself caught back up. But for what I know, there was no Charlotte Flair was having no match tonight, and we found out at the top of the show. This is what I was getting to or leading to, was that at the top of the show, when the actual main card started, we found out that due to the ongoing pandemic, the pandemic. I won't say his name because YouTube is funny about that. But I would say that because of the pandemic, it reared its ugly head, and even WWE was affected by it. There was rumors leading into this that a couple of WWE superstars had tested positive. I think Seth Rollins was supposed to be one of them, but he was able actually to get cleared, and thank his lucky stars that he didn't have it. If he did test positive, he didn't have it bad enough to where he could clear protocol and actually wrestle in tonight's match. But yeah, I think it was found out that Roman Reigns had tested positive for the virus. I'll just call it the virus. He tested positive for it, so therefore there wouldn't be a. That's why it was only going to be. I think it was supposed to be. It should have been like 7 matches by itself without the pre-show. So I think with the pre-show it was supposed to be 8 matches, but the last match of the night was supposed to be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. But Obviously, that didn't happen thanks to Rome. Because Roman unfortunately tested positive, so they moved Brock Lesnar to the championship match, making it a fatal 5-way. So to set up that match for later. Now on to the actual card. So the first match where we get was the Usos versus the New Day. That was a terrific match. I mean, 10. I was thoroughly entertained by it. It was a 10-10 for me. That was a 10. That was a perfect 10 match. That match was the best way to start this pay-per-view. And I would say that was probably like match of the night. That was honestly, that was the match of the night. Now that I think, when I look at this list and I try to figure out what was the best match of the night, the best match of the night was the first match of the night, which was the New Day versus the Usos, and they put on a stellar match, back and forth, near falls after near falls. I mean, the New Day hit their finishers, and the Usos hit their finishers, and then they hit their finishers multiple times on each other, and they kicked out. And at the end, it finally came down to the Usos paying homage to one of the OG tag teams, the Dudley Boys, hitting the 3D, or as they were trying to do it, the 1D. But yeah, they hit the Dudley Boys 3D on Kofi to win the match and retain the titles, and that was perfect. I love that. I love that little homage to the Dudley Boys. The next match we would get would be Drew McIntyre versus Riddick Moss. I think that's his name, Riddick Moss. I hate calling him Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin. I hate using those names because it's freaking annoying. They could. I mean, I don't care. Like, I like the gimmick. I just don't like the names. Like, I would have rather him be just Baron Corbin with this douche happy gimmick, and just Riddick Moss. But calling him Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin, that just don't work for me. But the match was okay. It wasn't a good match because I knew who was going to win, but it was still an entertaining enough match for me to say it wasn't bad. Wasn't the greatest. But it was okay. It was an okay match. But at the end, Drew McIntyre would hit good. That was like probably like the best in the match was when Drew McIntyre hit the Claymore, because that was a nice looking Claymore, and Drew McIntyre would get the win. But further development, I think like later on in the night when Drew McIntyre was given like a interview, they had Riddick and Baron attacked him backstage, basically injuring him. It looked like they injured him to write him off TV. I don't know if he really is injured or something happened, because I'm hearing that it looked like something really did happen with Drew, and he might have to be written off. That's what they would have written him off. But we'll see in the coming months if this was just a work, if this was a work or work shoot, or this was a legit way to write him off to take care of his underlying issue. But we would go to the next match, which is I didn't know that the Street Profits, because I haven't watched it. I didn't know the Street Profits beat the Mysterios to be the ones to face the Arcade Brawlement. I didn't know that the Street Profits won, but the Street Profits, I guess, will have won it, and they would get their match at day one against Arcade Bro. And RK Bro came out with the Migos. They did a backstage interview, and the Migos basically told them they had a surprise, and I guess the surprise was they was gonna be at ringside with RK Bro for their match. And it was this match was probably like the second best match of the night. It was way better than the Drew McIntyre match, and it kind of was better than the next match on this list, but we'll get to that in a minute. But this match was okay. It had a lot of spots for Randy Orton. A lot of respect for him. They showed a lot of respect for Randy Orton, and had a lot of good riddle spots. And they had some fun back and forth with the Street Profits. Like, there was like a little bit of mind games, a little bit of taunting, trying to throw everybody off their game. But in the end, Randy Orton would hit a nice picture perfect assisted RKO to secure the win. And I couldn't get the words out. Secure the win, and they still are your Raw Tag Team Champions. So far, we had 2 title matches with no championship change in hand. And that's going to end soon. The next match was Edge versus The Miz, and I haven't seen this past Monday where he gave them. I seen like the little bit of the clip where Edge gave The Miz and Maurice like a brew bath. I did see that much of it, but that's pretty much like all I seen of that Monday or that episode of Monday Night Raw. But I love that they brought him out once again as the Brew Edge. That made me hype. But then comes the match itself. The match itself was okay. I won't say it was bad. It wasn't a bad match. It just after that stellar match he had with Seth Rollins, this match just felt like a little lackluster. But it wasn't a bad match for either. Like both Edge and The Miz did their thing in this match. By far, they did. It just felt like it was just missing. It was just missing just a little bit of something. And I'm not talking about how it ended. I just felt like it just needed just a little bit more, some type of more energy, more moves, more something to make this match a little bit better. But maybe this match should have been like a no holds bars or something like that. Like this match didn't need to be like a regular match. This match needed to be like just a little bit different. Like it needed to have like a little bit of gimmicky type situation, like a steel cage or like I said, a street fight. It needed to be something like that. Because just a regular match between him and The Miz, it just fell flat. It really did, but it still was a good match. It was not as good as the first match or the RK Bro match, but it was still a good match. It's just like I said, it wasn't just as good. But then again, the way how they ended it with Edge getting help from his wife Beth Phoenix, seeing Maurice cower in fear of Beth Phoenix and running away. Like I thought that they was gonna have like Beth Phoenix basically a fight with Maurice, but Maurice just ran away and she basically was standing guard so Edge could do his thing, and he hit The Miz with the spear. But this don't look like it's going to be the end of it. They probably once again is going to do just like how they did with Maurice and The Miz versus John Cena and Nikki Bella. They probably going to do Maurice and The Miz versus Edge and Beth Phoenix at probably most likely at WrestleMania. But yeah, he did get the win thanks to Beth Phoenix. But yeah, Edge won that match. The next match we would get was I want to say the third best match. So the first match, which was the New Day versus the Usos, the RK Bro match, and this match was probably like the best match of the night. These were the best 3 matches of the night. I thought the main event was, but I'm gonna get to why. But yeah, Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch, they definitely did their thing in this match. And and I love the fact that even though that Liv Morgan lost, everybody, honestly, if you thought that Liv Morgan was gonna win here, it's not gonna happen. If they do make Liv the champion, they're gonna do it at WrestleMania. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it here. They're not going to do it if they fight at the Royal Rumble or whatever the next time, wherever this goes. They're going to do it at WrestleMania. They're not going to do it at the Rumble or anything else other than WrestleMania. But yet, it still gives you hope for that because Liv Morgan looked it good in her defeat because she looked like they basically saw that she looks. And they basically elevated her that she could be ready. Now she's ready for this main event spot. She's ready to be champion. And they little by little, just like they did with Kofi, little by little, they showing that Liv Morgan could be in that spotlight. And this is how they choose to build her up. And I like that. I like that if you're going to have a babyface losing to someone like Charlotte or Becky Lynch or Sasha even, make them look good to where and tell the story that eventually they're going to get got by this person and they're going to lose their title to this person. Just like what you did with Shasha and Bianca, they doing it with Becky. I just wish they did that with Toni Storm and Charlotte. Unfortunately, we all know that news that, Toni Storm basically quit WWE. And I don't blame her, but I just wish they would have did that with Toni Storm because she was an awesome talent. But yeah, at the end, Becky Lynch would get the victory, hitting her with a manhandle slam, or like, I just refer to as just the rock bottom. Because I that's one thing about like how I like calling Baron Corbin Happy Corbin or Riddick Moss Madcap Moss. I don't like calling Becky Lynch's moves the manhandle slam. It's just that it's not catchy to me, so I just call it the rock bottom because that's basically it's just the rock bottom. But yeah, that was a good match. I did enjoy that match because I enjoyed how they made even defeat how they did for Liv. I wish WWE would have took that and applied it to this match, which is the main event of the night, which is the Fatal 5-Way of Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens versus Bobby Lashley versus Big E versus Brock Lesnar. Now, the first thing that I had a problem with was that this is a Fatal 5-Way, and not once did you get Seth, it was okay. I expected to see KO and Seth Rollins team up. That was expected. Especially when it comes to Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. Yes, that was expected. But at some point I wanted to see Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins beat the hell out of each other. And I didn't get that. So that was like my first problem with that. My second problem was Big E for the first time maybe when he at the beginning of his title reign, you made Big E look good again. Like he really you made him look good in this match. He actually had some dominant moments. He didn't have like he didn't look weak. In my opinion, he didn't look weak in this match. He actually had dominant moments. He took it to Brock Lesnar. He took it to Bobby Lashley. He took it to Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. He really did. But when you add Brock Lesnar to it, I'm like, oh, come on, Daddy, don't do this again. Because like it's bad enough that you did to Bianca Belair. It's bad enough that you did to Kofi Kingston. But adding Brock Lesnar to this match, are you about to feed Big E to Brock Lesnar just like you fed Kofi to Brock Lesnar? And sure enough, that's what they did. I said, oh, why do I even bother with this company? So, but we did get, we never got to see Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens fight each other. They literally tag teamed the whole match. The most of the fighting came from Bobby Lashley, Big E, and Brock Lesnar. They actually all tried to at least fight each other. Kevin Owens and them never did. Bobby Lashley looked good, and Big E looked good. Brock Lesnar looked good as always. It felt like to me the weak links in this match was Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. And then why Brock Lesnar did not need the WWE Championship. Yes, I am revealing right now that the winner of this match was Brock Lesnar, and he is your new WWE Champion. But Brock Lesnar did not need that. He did not need that win. Big E needed that win because in my opinion, you want to know why he needed that win? Because ever since he won the championship, y'all been booking him to look weak. He's never looked as strong, and that's why people just like people. It's not that people didn't get behind Big E. People was behind Big E. People was behind Big E when he lost. You heard it in the crowd when he lost. People didn't like that at all because we was behind Big E. You wasn't behind Big E. Big E, if you wouldn't have made Big E look strong. You made Drew McIntyre look strong as champion. You made Roman Reigns look strong as champion. You made John Cena look strong. You make everybody look strong, but for some reason, you even made Kofi look strong. Kofi had a better championship reign than Big E because he actually looked strong in some of his matches. And the only match he didn't look strong in was when he went against Brock Lesnar. But with Big E, you made him look strong in his win and maybe like his first title defense, he looked strong. But every match you booked, him in, and I wouldn't. I think maybe not. He might have just looked strong and when he won the title. I think every match ever since he became champion, I think every match they booked him, he was always getting beat up, and then he had the Hulk Hogan comeback story to win the match every time. But it looked weak. It looked like he could. Why he was supposed to dominate. This is Big E. He's not dominating the matches and looking strong. I'm ranting, but in the end, I just think that was the wrong decision to make Brock Lesnar the champion because he has a whole storyline with Roman Reigns. So now what you gonna do? If Drew McIntyre is injured and out, who is Brock Lesnar? Unless you're gonna have Brock Lesnar, Big E just beats Brock Lesnar, become champion again. If y'all do it that way, then I'm cool with it. But I'm not cool with y'all feeding Kofi and Big E to Brock Lesnar like that. It's just they deserve better than that. But you let me know in the comments, guys, because I'm done ranting. That was the end. That was the end of the show. That's the end. That's it. So you let me know in the comments down below what you thought of WWE Day 1 and your thoughts about the matches and how you feel about the show. And if you enjoyed this review, then hit this button right there in the upper right corner for all of my reviews. And if you enjoyed this video so much you want to support the channel, then hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications and get notified when I drop videos. Because, guys, that's all free. And all I ask and all I say is please support the channel. And as always, hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content. But don't go anywhere. I got more content coming on the way. I'm going to have another day off here soon so I can get back to playing some of these games and try to finish up these games so I can move on to some new games. And I might have a surprise coming up. I might have another live stream coming up soon, but I'm working out the details. But peace out. See y'all soon.